Everything Upset podcast, where we talk about a bunch of just random things for the fun of it. So, I'm Derek. This is Aaron.
And I'm Aaron. And I'm intoxicated.
He really is. He keeps taking shots and I tell him not to.
Yeah, but Derek, if I listen to you, where would we be? Better places, I understand. What are we talking about today?
So today's topic is going to be social media.
We're going to talk about social media for an hour?
Yes.
45 minutes. I'll give you 45 minutes.
I think we could do an hour.
Yeah, probably. I mean, there's so much out there, right?
I mean, social media is such an integral part of promotion now that alone is a good bit of conversation.
You know a lot more about the online world of online than I do. I just use the internet for like games and Facebook. Why don't you like go ahead, just name them off. Let's just name everything off so I know what we're talking about specifically, and everybody else does too. Because some people, like for instance Snapchat, I consider that social media. Some people don't, right? So let's just like.
So if you want to define social media, it's kind of there. It is a broad thing, but when you think social media, you're gonna think of the places like Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat, Instagram, the place where you're gonna share your personal story while also promoters use as a landscape to promote products to you.
Like us.
Yeah, so like, for example, us. We do have a Facebook page. Check it out. And yeah, we use it to reach out to you guys as a, not necessarily a company, but it's just a
group of guys having a conversation that we want you to be a part of.
Yeah, so
we're using Facebook to touch you.
That was the wrong choice of words.
Oh. Anyway, continue, Derek.
But Facebook does have a lot of opportunities to grow your business, or in our case, our podcast. Because not only can you reach out to your friends and kind of expand from their friends who will hopefully share it with their friends, but you can also use their promotions feature, which allows you to pay so much per day or per whatever. And it'll reach out to people you wouldn't normally be able to reach.
Right. Yeah, and we can't forget the political aspect of it. You know, talking about a business, but I mean, Facebook is definitely election deciding at this point, right? I'm not talking about, Russia. I'm talking about just in general.
I wouldn't say election deciding, but it definitely puts a lot of more political figures in your face.
Right. You don't have a choice.
Yeah, because when you're on the road, sure, you'll have billboards, but when you're on Facebook or any other social media, it's going to be in your face as you scroll through your timeline. Every 5th, 7th, 8th post is going to be
right
that kind of stuff.
So, like I said, we're talking about social media. Facebook seems to be the big one, but Twitter seems to be, to some degree, either catching up or even at sometimes bigger, right?
I feel Facebook is the one everyone has. Facebook is just kind of like that safe bet, anyone can use it. Twitter, me personally, I think it's just too cluttered to use. Because it seems like every time I turn on my Twitter, there's just like 1,000 things that are just in your face.
Yeah, and I never catch up because I don't use it enough.
Yeah.
So I'll get on my Twitter and I'll have like 7 billion tweets, and I'm like, I don't really care about any of you people. If I have you on Twitter, I pay attention to your Facebook. I don't care about your Twitter. I don't care because I also find it weird because a Facebook post, but then again, some people may not, because a Facebook post can be basically as long as you want it, right?
Yeah.
A Twitter post is 120 characters or whatever.
It's more than that now. I think it's like 240 or something like that.
But even then, I mean, that's such a small thing. So to some degree, that might be better, though. Because, like, you kind of got to get to the point.
It's more of an attention span kind of thing, I think. Because a lot of people have short attention span, so that 240 characters is more reasonable than that lady who tells this long, huge story about how someone saved a puppy.
Well, what pisses me off about that specifically is when you get on Facebook and it's like those chain messages. It's like, I'm so-and-so, and they just change the name, and then you get to the bottom, it's this big, long, drawn-out story. It's like, copy and paste to tell your friends, he. I hate it. It's so dumb. Like, please, people, I don't care. I really don't. And no offense to you or whatever. Like, I'm an American too, but you don't have to tell me in 7,000 words. You could just say, God bless America, and I'll be like, I feel that.
Or
patriotism.
Or just America.
That's the real way to do it.
Yes.
American, and spit your dip on the floor like a man.
I don't dip, though.
That's because you're not a man.
That's fair.
Yeah, anyway. No, I definitely like Facebook. But Facebook is almost like crack at this point. I catch myself on Facebook for no reason. Like I'll just be, I'll pick my phone up middle of a podcast and be like, "Oh, what's going on Facebook? Let me see what's up." And I'm like, "What am I doing?" You know? Or you wake up in the morning and you roll over in bed and you're like, "What's going on Facebook?" You know? And it's really weird. Like you never catch yourself doing that where you're like, "What the hell's going on with this?"
Yeah, I have a bad habit when I'm kind of bored or just in my room or whatever at night. I'll either be on Facebook or I'll be on YouTube. Is one of those two.
Well, YouTube I can understand more because there's legitimate information on you. Like you could watch videos of whatever you want. I mean...
Yeah, YouTube is great in the fact that you can use it for educational purposes or you could just use it for entertainment.
Right, and sometimes it crosses over. I mean, how many times do you get on like a YouTube run? Is YouTube social media? Would you say that that's...
It has a social media element, but I wouldn't necessarily say it's social media because it's hard to communicate directly besides the comments.
Right. You can't message a YouTube...
I think you can. I haven't really used that feature before, but...
Well, I know if you leave a comment, it's like a personal message. Like it shows up, they have like an inbox for that. I've seen that.
But if you're such a huge YouTuber, you're going to get like 5,000 in 10 minutes.
But is that any different than Facebook, though? I mean, how many stars are actually commenting back on Facebook?
True, true.
In fact, anybody who does, I mean, the fact is, you're always going to have like negative people, right? You're always going to have people that say you suck. So who has time to really look at all that crap? I mean, if I was that, if we ever got to a point where people, I probably would respond as much as I can. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, like anybody who's going to have legitimate criticism for me is going to come at me directly because I'm that kind of person, and I don't see that ever changing. But I heard Joe Rogan talk about it once about how, you know, if you spend your whole day looking at these comments, they're just so vile. It's like people are just there to crush people, right?
Yeah, we're kind of lucky right now how we only have 133 people on the Facebook page.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
So if y'all do comment, it's only gonna be like 1 or 2 people, so it's easier to respond, and it's not necessarily gonna be negative because it's just people who are excited for our podcast.
Right, and everybody's been so cool. Everybody that's listened has been, you know, pretty chill about it and, you know, been honest with us about it. It seems like they're having fun, so that's good. I'm having fun. That's what, you know, really I'm just here for me. I don't care about you guys.
That's harsh.
No, I'm kidding, man. You guys are awesome. And look, I want to get to a point where people are having discussions because I want to be a part of those discussions, and I will be. I just mean there is a point where it's like you're going to get people, like we had with those posts that were boosted.
Oh, yeah, we boosted
scam, you know.
Yeah, we boosted some posts, and there was like these... I'm going to call them boomers, just for the hell of it. But,
Ooh, that's dangerous. I would have said meth head incestual people, but...
Really? That's better than boomer.
Well, if you get offended by the fact that you're a meth head or you're incestual, yeah, that's better than calling somebody a boomer.
Anyway, it was just these random accounts. I don't even know who these people were, but they were just like, oh, this is all spam. Oh, my God. Why are you even doing this? Why are you... Yeah. It's like... Why are you taking the time to write this paragraph to say that? Why are you boosting your post?
You're lucky you saw it before I did because I would have roasted them. Bro, it would not have been nice. It would not have been nice. But with keeping everything PG-13, you did the right thing.
Yeah, we definitely want to have good conversation. We don't want to have people just hating on us.
No, I want discourse in the sense of if you guys don't like something, you tell me and we'll deal with it. I might roast you, but it just depends on how I feel about it that day.
So if you like Star Wars Episode 1, be sure to add Aaron.
I will destroy you. Don't ever come at me with... Look, I'm not saying you can't like it. I'm saying if you say it's better than any other episode... Star Wars Episode 1 is equivalent to the Christmas special, in my opinion.
Dude, that is...
I know it is. And I said it. And see, a lot of people haven't seen the Christmas episode. Do yourself a favor, or don't. Find it. It's pirated everywhere. It's easy to find.
You don't even have to look it up. Just find someone who reviews it and shows clips. That'll be enough.
It is pretty rough, but episode 1's rougher.
At least you got the... Okay, we keep coming back to Star Wars. We need to stop coming back to Star Wars.
I'm just saying. Okay, I'm just letting you know how I feel about it, what it is. What's your favorite social media?
I find myself on Facebook the most.
You Snapchat?
I Snapchat like 1 or 2 people.
I've never... I just... Look, if you have me on Snapchat, and I'm just telling you guys this, because I'm gonna show you. You guys can see my phone. This is Snapchat. I press Discover, and then I creep on all of you. I don't ever use Snapchat. I just scroll through, and I find the people I want to creep on, and I press the button. And then I get done. I didn't show you guys who I did that to, because she probably wouldn't appreciate that. Well, she might. April doesn't really care. Hey, April. My point is, I don't know if I've ever used it. I did find out recently though that if you don't turn location off, people know where you are.
Yeah,
That is weird.
I'm fine with it.
I shouldn't have to turn that on and off, man. Like that should automatically be off. I should have to turn that on. Is my point.
I mean, I do see like the safety issue with that.
I mean, like, dude, if I was a hot chick, which I mean, I am hot, but I'm not a chick. If I was a hot chick,
You are neither of those things.
that hurt, man. You just mad because you got a bitch beard. Anyway,
What? I trim it.
look
That's
at
not a
this,
bitch
dude.
beard.
Look at this. Look at how nice. Anyway, if I was a hot
That looks
chick,
like pubes.
That's hilarious, man. Right here. That's a good one. That's a good one. Anyway, if I was a hot chick, I'd be worried about that, man. People could just show up at your house and bam, human trafficking.
Which is a pretty common issue. Even
Yeah, I mean, well, people are so quick to add people on social media, right? How many times you add somebody not even thinking about it? And as a guy, it's just the world we live in. It's kind of safer. Like, I'm not too worried about somebody trying to human traffic me. So, you know, I got hands. I'll fight somebody. You know?
No, it's because you're too heavy.
Look, man. I have been very nice to you these past few episodes. But don't you get me started. 'Cause your forehead weighs more than me. So like I was saying, with your receding hairline.
Oh, sure. You were talking about your own receding hairline earlier.
Anyway, all right.
Okay, enough the roast of Aaron and Eric.
I didn't even get any in. That's not fair.
You got enough. You got enough.
Your love life is like an Ethiopian child starving. Anyway. That was a good one. Don't act like that wasn't a good one. Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm wrong.
Just. Why don't you talk about your favorite social medias?
No, I just use Facebook. Literally, I have a Twitter account that I never check. I have probably 99 plus. Like, it tells you the.
Yeah.
I'll open it every now and again just to get that to knock off. I think I have an Instagram. I don't know. I don't even know.
Yeah, I have an Instagram. I don't really use it. Just got a Twitter. Don't really use it. I mean, I am using the Instagram for our when our episodes release.
Right.
Because you can do the thing where it's like share from SoundCloud to your social medias. But other than that, don't really use Instagram because I'm not much of a picture person. I'm more of the take pictures of things, not myself kind of person. But I also have a Twitter, don't really use it. I have Snapchat, I use it for maybe a couple people. But it's mostly Facebook. And as always, he's on his phone.
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah. I always got stuff going on, man. I've got the band and everything.
Yeah, you're such a professional, just on your phone during a podcast.
Oh, don't start with me about professionalism.
What's that supposed to mean?
I have no idea. I just said it. I really don't know. You're a pretty professional guy. I've never seen you check your phone on the podcast.
Exactly.
But you got your watch, so you'd be like, "Oh, who's that?" And know if it's important. To be fair, I'm texting my mom. My mom's cooking tomorrow. If anybody wants to come, we're doing a roast. It'll be fun.
The roast of Aaron Petty.
Well, I say tomorrow. By the time they get this, it'll be way past that. Don't show up at mom's house tomorrow, because when this comes out, she's gonna be like, "What the hell is going on?" Anyway, back on topic though, right? I like that jacket though, Beast. That's pretty cool. Man.
Yeah, it's from YouTuber Mr. Beast.
I don't know what that is.
Just Mr. Beast is a really cool YouTuber. He led a thing in 2019 for Team Trees. He helped raise money basically to plant 20 million trees.
Really?
Yeah, and they reached the goal.
Hey, hats off to that guy. You guys look him up, man. Trees are important.
He also had a series where people competed in these competitions, and the
Right.
winner actually got $1 million.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, after taxes and giving stuff to their trainer, they still end up with probably good $500K.
Hey, that's good. Good for him, man. That's awesome. But yeah, Facebook and YouTube, if you would consider YouTube social media, which the more we talk about it, I kind of do right now. Because, you do have a lot of access to your fan base that way. And not only that, there's conversation. It is a social platform. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah.
Netflix isn't, because there's no way to comment, which I think that would be cool, right? If Netflix would have a feature where you could comment on episodes and...
Dude, that would get violent.
It would, but YouTube gets violent. Facebook gets violent. You could put a picture right now of like a child getting a puppy, and somebody's gonna be like, stab the kid. Like, I don't, right? I mean,
Yeah, but with YouTube, it's more individual creators, so they have their own individual communities. But with Netflix, if you have, say Fuller House, there's going to be people who shit on it, there's going to be people who praise it, and then they're going to clash.
yeah, but that's the same thing with YouTube, man.
People on YouTube are just like, kill yourself.
But nothing exists in a bubble, even on YouTube. I mean, yeah, you're right. Like, PewDiePie, for instance, he has a solid community of people that followed him until he got taken out of context. But that's neither here nor there.
He still had 102 million subscribers, though.
Well, that's good. But yet, you would still have people going there and be like, shut up, queer. Like, you would still have that, right? Like, it doesn't really matter. It doesn't exist in a bubble, is my point. You can't just exist for your subscribers. Like, you have to exist for everyone. So it would eventually, maybe at first it would be weird, but it would eventually exist the same way.
Yeah.
Because my thing is, if I don't like something, I don't comment on it unless I'm really trying to start shit. Like, if I see somebody post like something ridiculous, I'll go and comment on it just to start trouble. But I'm not going to go watch a show and then be like a dick about it. Like, I just don't see the point in that.
Yeah.
I mean, I think most people would agree.
Yeah, but I mean, social media should definitely be a healthier place than it is, but...
Yeah, but this is America, right?
You mean the world?
Well, no, I do. I mean, I think that social media exists. It started here, right? I mean, Facebook started here.
Yeah.
MySpace started here. It's an American value. I mean, I think, am I saying that people should be so negative? No.
Well, there's also social media on the other side of the world that we don't have.
Right, and it probably sucks.
I don't know. From what I hear, some of them can actually be better, especially... I think there was one like Japan, I think, that's exclusive to them that works pretty good.
I feel like anytime you tell people they can't say things, it's bad, right? I mean, let's be honest. I mean, look, the best way to make people realize how ridiculous people are is by letting them say dumb shit. Seriously. I mean, if you get somebody out there who's saying like ridiculous, crazy stuff, trust me, people will soon realize that this guy's crazy. Mm-hmm. Whereas if you try to silence them, then you basically create people that you make them seem like they got something to say. Because historically speaking, anytime anybody silences someone, it's because they're saying real stuff. Mm-hmm. That's how people feel. It's usually wrong, but that's how people feel. If you let Alex Jones say what Alex Jones wants to say, I promise you most people will be like, what the hell is going on? But instead, you've created a bigger fan base for him by silencing him. I mean, I don't agree with silencing anyone ever. I don't care what they're saying.
Despite us being the cancel culture?
Well, you know how I feel about that. I mean, and look, be as PC as possible when I'm saying this, but it's bullshit. You're not accomplishing anything by silencing people ever. You're not.
The problem with this whole cancel culture, though, is I see it a lot on YouTube because I do follow so much on there.
Right.
And there's just so much, if you say the wrong thing or do the wrong thing, people instantly just want you gone forever. That's not really fair to them if you make one mistake. You have all this content and promotional stuff that you've worked so hard for, but because you made one mistake, suddenly everyone's just against you.
Right, but that's what this culture is allowed. I mean, the PewDiePie thing. He said something that was ridiculous, but if you watch the whole, they definitely took it out of context.
A lot of it was out of context, because I remember when all this happened, because I was a fan of him at the time. And he, basically the first time, I think, was when he did the Fiverr episode.
Right.
He did an episode where, as a joke, it wasn't meant to be taken seriously. It was just kind of like a commentary on how people will do anything for $5, kind of.
Right.
Or $20 for $20.
$20 is definitely $20, I agree. $5 would be $5. I'm not at that point yet, but give me a couple weeks.
But basically, he had these two dudes put up a sign that said "Death to all Jews," which it was meant to just be a jab. It was supposed to be an edgy joke that just got taken out of context.
Absolutely. And look, and I've always said this, you cannot silence any joke ever. I don't care what the joke is. And the reason I say that is because that's the start. Like when you start silencing comedy, especially when it's meant to be a joke, that's a very slippery slope.
Like, I get it is messed up to say that in the first place, but the fact that these social media outlets didn't even give the context for what happened. So then people instantly were against PewDiePie just because he said something as a joke, which it was a very messed up joke, but he shouldn't have been as crucified as he was.
Right. And look, that's the thing. I mean, you can't, you have a right to say things. People also have a right to interpret them any way they choose. That is a thing too. I'm not going to say that's not. I just think when it's a joke, when it's clearly a joke, How many Jew jokes have been made over the years?
I mean, plenty, especially like on Family Guy. They literally, their writers are all Jews and they still make fun.
Because it's it's low hanging fruit. It's an easy hit. I mean, and 90% of people laugh. 90% of people that attack PewDiePie have laughed at a Jew joke.
Yeah, but like I said, it was a messed up joke, and he did say that he learned from the mistake and he's trying to be cleaner with what he says.
I mean, I agree.
Because there's a fine line between a joke that's edgy versus a joke that crosses the line, and that was probably crossed the line.
Yeah, I guess, but
because it was just because there's this whole like white supremacist thing with him that people were assuming already. So when you say things like that,
I mean, but that's such a dumb thing. I think again, it's kind of like, it's really weird when we have to start changing our sense of comedy and our sense of self because people feel like, or they think they have an idea of what we do, or they say, well, he's white, he does this, he must be white supremacist. That's a really, really weird way to get to a point, right? Like, I mean, you're missing a lot of stuff about the guy. I'm not even a fan. I just know that when people get attacked like that, it's generally bullshit. Like, generally speaking, it's not right. It's very rare that I mean, look, there are people that are racist out there. I'm not saying there's not.
Yeah.
But when somebody says something on a podcast or on an interview or during a live broadcast, these are all things that are happening right now. So if you say something and then it gets glossed over, and then 5 years from now somebody says, oh, you said the N-word. Well, no, I was quoting this. Well, it's too late. It doesn't matter what you're doing.
Yeah, also social media can be a very dangerous thing because there was a time when James Gunn got kicked off Guardians of the Galaxy 3 for a while because of
nonsense.
Because of tweets that were, again, edgy. They were messed up.
Years ago.
They were messed up and he's grown from them.
Right.
But they were from years ago and he had already created the first two Guardians movies before that was even brought up.
Right. It was that's people trying to, I mean, that's Hollywood, man. Trying to find, I mean, look, so that's wrong, but we have all these stars that do drugs and sleep with all these women. And now, but you see, even that now is becoming an issue. But it's just, it's whatever people want to deal with that day. It's whatever problem they want to create that day. And that's probably the biggest downside of social media. Because you could make a joke, you could share a post. I've shared quite a few, and like later I'm looking at it, I'm like, man, that could really be taken the wrong way. Mm-hmm. But you don't know the context. You don't know that, oh, I know the guy who made the post. Oh, he's a friend of mine, and on top of that, he wants people to share it. Yeah. You're assuming that I shared it, so I must feel a certain way. And that's not really how things work. I just thought it was funny. That's just the way it works.
Yeah, as long as you grow from, like, and realizing what you say is messed up, then you're doing a good thing. But, well, I'm not saying the post was good, but you know what I mean.
Well, I also think that, if it's in the confines of comedy, look,
I mean, with comedy, there still is a line.
Yeah, but to me, the reason I say it to me is there's a line, I agree, but it has to be taken with the time, it has to be taken with the context, and it also has to be understood that there's a lot of things in comedy that I don't find funny that you might, and vice versa. So if you get a group of people that think that joke is funny, like plenty of people thought the Jew thing was funny, that PewDiePie did. People thought that was funny. I mean, there's no doubt about it. It's not that they're terrible people. It's a shock value laugh. It's kind of funny.
Yeah.
I don't know much about it. I'm not going to say it's funny. I didn't see it. I probably would have laughed. But just because you didn't think it was funny doesn't mean that you then can crucify someone. Look, if you mess up at work, they can't take your whole life away from you. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's sort of the same thing, And not only that, you're talking about a job that, specifically in the comedy world, and it exists mostly in social media, you have to introduce an idea, a joke, a skit, and you got to hope that it hits.
Yeah.
You don't get to try that on people. You have to just send it out there and hope it hits. And if it ends up being really terrible, you have to then eat that. Now, on top of that, you don't just have to eat it. You also have to suffer a consequence because people don't agree with you.
Yeah, there's always consequences for things you do, whether the context was good or bad, or whether the intentions were good or bad. Because, like, with James Gunn, he lost Guardians of the Galaxy 3 for a solid year, I think. Then they hired him back. And then for PewDiePie, he lost his YouTube Premium series. Because he had Scare PewDiePie. It was already done filming. They were in the editing stage. Like, they were about to drop a trailer within a few weeks. And they canceled it.
And that's where it gets weird. Did he really deserve to have part of his life stripped away from him?
Because the thing he brought up with all that happening was he understands that he made a mistake. He's willing to take the consequences, but with a show like that, he's not the only person who worked on that show.
Right. Other people have lost jobs and didn't get paid.
Like, there was hundreds of people that worked on that series.
And some of those people probably worked on the chance of it being a success, not on the chance of getting paid up front. So these guys are probably waiting on this to hit for a resume, for a bigger paycheck, for a bonus, whatever. But now they've lost all that because in the court of public appeals, PewDiePie's a racist.
Yeah.
And I mean, there just doesn't seem to be enough proof of that, right? Like, to say that he's a racist, I mean, was it a bad joke? Maybe. But is he a racist? That's a different thing.
Yeah, PewDiePie is known for making bad jokes, but it feels like a lot of YouTubers, especially like older ones, who have been on the platform for a good 10 years, back when they first started, back in like the late 2000s, they were saying a lot of edgy stuff that people are getting offended by today.
Well, that joke I told you earlier about the neighbor with the dog. I mean, that would have passed in the 90s for a good joke. If I tell that right here, we're in trouble.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, that's a good joke. You know, people just get so caught up on a word that they forget that it's a joke. Like, it's, you know, it's not, we're not going in public and attacking people for what they are. And look, there are plenty of gay comics out there. The fact is, you can't, when it comes to stuff like that especially, you can't say, well, if you're a gay YouTuber, you can say certain things. If you're Jewish, you can say certain things. It's all or none. That's America. Yeah. Either we can all do it or none of us can do it. It just is what it is.
And even on the podcast front, Shane Dawson, he had a podcast for a while. He actually got in trouble for some things he said jokingly on the podcast, which turned out to get him in a lot of trouble.
What did he say?
It was something child related, so everyone was labeling a pedophile, but it was a joke.
See, and that's my point. I mean, look, is everybody going to laugh at it? No, but it was probably kind of funny.
Because, like, with him, with Smosh, with PewDiePie, with all those early YouTubers, they said edgy things in the hope of getting enough shock value to be like, oh, hey, this person's interesting.
That's how you made it to the next level, right? So but I mean, there's a lot of comedians like that. They're having a hard time in the transition, you know, because they used to do colleges. Well, now we can't do colleges because we make gay jokes. We make. Derek has a cat, and that's the first time I saw it today. We make edgy jokes. That's how we make it to the next level. Mm-hmm. Now you can't do it. Everything's got to be sort of bubble wrapped, you know. And look, that exists 100% in social media. If you go back and look at social media posts from 10 years ago to today, everything is watered down. Everybody's so afraid to say the wrong thing, to make any comment about race, religion, it just depends on the religion, but race, you know, sexual orientation. I just think it's weird, man. That's a huge negative point about social media.
My cat.
The cat is fat, dude.
I mean, I've seen fatter.
Oh, I have too. I'm just saying.
He's got a little bit of a pooch, but...
But, no, I mean... So, yeah, I mean, that's definitely a bunch of negatives about it, I think. But I do think, you know, we kind of went backwards on that, but there's a lot of positives, too. I think... I have an old guy on my Facebook. He just got on Facebook. I don't know him, but he added me. And he's from the area. Anyway, he's so happy because he's talking about he's reconnecting with all these people. That's a huge positive, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, you could, you know, move to California and, you know, 20, 30 years ago, and all of a sudden you can talk to all your friends that were in Louisiana, or all your friends you made in Texas when you worked on the you know, in the oil field or whatever. It's a great way to reintroduce yourself to people that you already know. And it's, you know, it's also a great way to meet new people. I mean, how many people on Facebook I don't know, and I comment one time on their stuff, and now we're friends. You know? Yeah. Or I ain't seen them in 10 years, and I comment on one of their stuff, and now we're friends. Again, rather.
Yeah, it definitely helps create relationships, and definitely allows you to reconnect with people you might have lost touch with. Because I think it'll be really easy way for people, especially with like high school reunions and stuff, to find everyone and kind of be like, hey, the reunions.
Right. Especially, yeah, because that's going to start with all.
Speaking of, how did they do that before, like, the internet? Like, how did they have, like, high school reunions in the 80s?
I guess if everybody lived in the same area, they just pull out the old phone book. Remember phone books?
But, yeah, but what about someone who moves to, like, L.A.?
I guess they're just... I mean, I would imagine one person would keep touch with them. And are you good?
My cat's going into our little sink area. It's fine.
Like jumped up there?
No, like he opened up the door and like crawled in.
So weird. I guess you would just call. I don't know. You get like one person, be like, oh yeah, I still talk to Jim, and he'd call Jim from California and be like, Jim.
So it just create this web of people who just stay in contact with this one person, kind of thing.
I guess. I mean, that's what I'd imagine. I mean, that's the only way I could think it would work.
Yeah, if we have any older people who listen to our podcast, can you let us know how they used to do it before the internet? Just be sure to hit us up on the Facebook page and maybe even the website.
If you're over like, I guess 35, right? 35-year-olds didn't really have the internet, did they?
Well, if they're 35 now, that was what, 85?
You could just ask Ricky.
Well, he was in the late 90s, so his reunions weren't until like 2000, so.
Yeah, but that was still really early on the internet.
There was Facebook by then, though, so.
Really? No, there wasn't.
Facebook was like, what, 2005?
No way. No way. Really? 2005? I'm going to look that up. 2005?
Just look it up with your phone that you always seem to have out.
Oh, shut up. 2005? Really, though? You think that was it?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Facebook was out in like 2004, 2005.
Were people using it, though?
It was small, but considering that the Facebook movie came out in, what, 2011? Need had time to grow anyway, so.
2004. February of 2004. That's wild, man. Yeah, the Facebook movie did come out in 2011. That was a good movie. Did you watch it?
I think I watched it once.
Yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed that movie.
Well, I mean, it did get a lot of awards and stuff, so.
Yeah, it was good. I mean, I don't know, as far as movies like that go, I guess. I mean, I guess, it's like Pulp Fiction, but it was good.
I mean, I'm sure they kind of like spiced up some of the stuff for storytelling purposes, but.
I don't know, man. I actually heard it was pretty accurate. Apparently, who made Facebook? What's his name?
Mark Zuckerberg.
I was going to say Mark Wahlberg.
I don't think Marky Mark invented Facebook.
Well, Mark Zuckerberg apparently is not a good person. He's also a robot or a lizard person, from what I heard.
I think it's a lizard person.
Yeah, probably so. You ever seen him sip water? He's like, yeah, that's funny. He sips water. No, I'm serious. Watch it later, man. He sips water weird.
I've never paid attention to anyone sip water.
Trust me, if you saw it.
And apparently you don't know how to sip water. You literally just took a sip and you choked already.
If you saw it, you know what I mean. It's really odd. But yeah, so that's the most positive part. Definitely like keeping in touch with people, reconnecting with people that you thought you'd never talk to again. Finding those old flings, right? Old people finding old flings,
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm with you, man. Before, how'd you find people? Seriously, how'd you
Like, I understand having you pretty much either had just know someone who knew where that person went, because I know back in the days they used to have like the patch lines.
Yeah, I guess that's a thing.
So if you can know, oh hey, this person moved to Minneapolis, then you call their patch people and be like, hey, can you communicate me to such and such person?
And they put a little cord in.
Little switchboard thing.
Yeah, they're like little instrument cords.
Yeah.
That was kind of cool. There's just too many people for that now. Thank God we have Facebook. How many poor switchboard operators? You had 30 people in that room trying to figure out where it goes where.
Well, now we don't even have landlines. We just have cell phones. So.
Yeah, I don't even know what a landline is. Do you have one?
No. My parents actually got rid of theirs like a year or two ago, so.
Yeah, I can't, yeah.
It was one of those things where they would have got rid of it sooner, but it was cheaper to have it bundled.
Yeah, and then after a while, it's just like, yep, don't need it.
It's like, oh, we saved $15. Oh well, we'll just eat it.
Yeah, just let it run. But yeah, that's the internet, man. Especially social media for that kind of stuff has made it so much easier to try and get things together and get people together. And not only that, man, the whole Facebook really kills it with that. I mean, making events, and for the band aspect of my life, I mean, it's so easy. Create an event, invite all your friends.
Yeah.
You're done. I mean, it's a 10-minute process that would have taken you days to call people. Hey man, I got this going on. Hey man, I got this going on. Hey man, I got this going on. And it's like, that would be super aggravating, Whereas now, share it on Facebook, they click interested, they click going, who cares? I've already shared it, they know about it.
Yeah, so more people are finding out about it than they would have
Right.
If you did the old school way where it was like flyers or things like that, which that still is a thing where you will put up flyers around like a city or a town.
Yeah, no, we had those for the Lighthouse Festival when we played in Berwick, and that was, they had flyers up and they had little, all this stuff going on. But again, for the most part, that'll give way to social media as well, because social media had the same flyer that the town was sharing as a post. So you just share the flyer. It worked out. But yeah, it's definitely made communicating and setting things up a lot easier. I don't think it's ever been easier to get people involved in an event than it is now with stuff like that.
Yeah, especially with a base of probably over 1 billion people. I think you have over 1 billion people you could potentially reach.
It's a lot of people.
Yeah, man, there's people all over the world.
Or really, I thought every other continent was just trees.
But they are making an effort to make internet more available around the world, so... Because there are areas that are still behind on the whole internet thing, but they're...
Dude, there are areas in the U.S. that are behind on the internet thing.
Yeah.
They just have trash internet, I don't think anybody has dial-up anymore. I think that's done, right?
You say that, but in Broussard, the internet for some reason just sucks.
What do y'all have? What do they have, rather?
I don't know who the providers are in Broussard, but for some reason, no matter what, even the cell phone reception in Broussard is just garbage.
It's crazy. It's a growing city. Give it time. It'll catch you.
Eventually.
I don't know, man. Morgan City's internet ain't terrible, so maybe Broussard just sucks.
Speaking of internet, very quick. So in Berwick, I notice anytime I go visit, it says 5G. Is that a real 5G or is that like the fake 5G?
I would imagine it's fake. I don't get 5G. What phone do you have?
The 8 Plus.
See, I have the Note 9. I don't even have the 5G thing on mine. So I'm imagining.
Yeah, every time I go over there, for some reason 5G pops up. So I was just.
You're on AT&T?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's fake. I don't think it's real.
Yeah, I think. Because if anything, Lafayette would get a real 5G before
I
Berwick.
would imagine. Yeah, I would imagine. Although they oftentimes do trial runs of that kind of stuff in small areas.
You said doo-doo.
I did say doo-doo. They do trial runs of that kind of stuff in the smaller areas.
Yeah.
There's like this town or some, like in Kentucky or something, that has like the fastest internet in the world or something. I heard that the other day. They have like they were the first place that ever got optics, and they were the first place that got all this crazy stuff. And it's just like some small town. And I was like, man, that must be awesome. It's where all those kids are at that are beating me in Call of Duty. I just suck at Call of Duty. That's all that is.
So it's not the lag. It's just you
It's
suck.
just me. I'm just trash, dude. I try so hard, and I'm just trash. But,
yeah, that's why you like playing me, because I'm even more trash.
Right. I can take advantage of your trashness.
Like in sports, it's like it could go either way, but
Yeah, we've had some back and forth games in sports.
but shooters, that's shooter.
You still got Madden?
Yeah, I do.
We're playing Madden tonight.
Oh shit.
We are playing Madden tonight.
Can I use my custom player that's like in level 99?
No, you can't. That's not fair.
Also, speaking of Madden, I'm this is way off topic, but on the franchise I'm doing with my custom player, I avoided Beyond the Saints so that way I didn't take Drew Brees out of being the starter quarterback. He got traded after like the first year.
It's a game, bro. It's fine. Nobody's
He
gonna.
got, he got traded to the Cardinals and then he retired.
That's what I would do. If I get traded to Arizona, I'd probably retire shortly after.
Like, I'm currently playing like the 2019 season because I have Madden 18.
Right.
So I'm on my third year. It's this year.
Mm-hmm.
They already had Drew Brees retire.
That doesn't look too good.
Yet in real life, Drew Brees is probably arguably better than he's been.
I'm not gonna say anything. I'm just gonna be quiet on that one. You're gonna hurt people's feelings. I'm just saying, you never know. Some people are like, Drew Brees was 5 years ago was the best quarterback. He's not better today. Burble, gerbil, gerbil.
I mean, I'm not saying he's a bad quarterback, but he's been doing what?
What were you about to say? You're not saying he's bad, but what were you gonna say? We'll fight. What were you gonna say?
Well, no. I mean, he literally brought them to the Super Bowl 10 years ago.
That's what I'm saying. Best quarterback in the world, man. Most touchdowns. Consecutive seasons with huge numbers of yards. Who's better?
I'm not saying anyone's better.
Yeah, that's what I thought. He's the best.
I'm just saying even with his abbreviated season, he's actually doing really well.
He always does well. It's everybody else that doesn't do well. It's the referees that keep cheating us out of games. That's what it is.
Yeah, because Tom Brady kind of sucks.
Whoa. I didn't say it. Derek said it. I never said that. I think Tom Brady's a great quarterback. I just don't think he's as good as Drew Brees. Anyway.
The Patriots are basically the Yankees of the football world.
That's true. I don't think anybody's going to argue with you on that.
Which, Dr. Melly, if you ever listen to this, I doubt you're ever going to listen to this. I'm sorry for hating on your Patriots, but they suck.
Is he from the Northeast?
Yeah, he's from Boston.
That's his own fault. I'm sorry. That's a choice. It is a choice to be from Boston. Even if you're born in Boston, you could leave.
You just get your cockies.
Your cockies. Oh, man. I got way off topic.
just a little bit. But, so going back to social media.
That's where we're at.
So now that we've kind of gone through some positive things, some negative things, what do you think overall with social media?
I have to say I think it's a great thing. I think any chance to get people out of their shell more, because it does. A lot of people are quiet people, but they can post on social media, they can share a post, they can talk better in that state, and it opens them up more opportunities to be more personable. I think it's a real thing, man.
Yeah, I definitely find I'm more of a typer and writer than a speaker.
Well, it gives you a chance to think about what you're trying to say.
Because I can make very good, clear sentences, but when I talk, it's my mouth goes a little bit faster than my brain works.
Right.
So I end up either stuttering or just not finding the right words.
Right.
Which you will all hear every time you hear this podcast.
Yep. No, some people are better at that. I know a lot of people that, you try to talk to them in person and it's kind of gurbled up. Like it's kind of like they lose or they can't, they got to think about everything they say a lot more than some people do.
Yeah.
Whereas social media allows you to think about every single thing you're going to put, type it all out, change it if you want to, and then release it, and then change it again if you want to. Like you have so many opportunities to do it how you feel is right.
Yeah.
And I think more quiet people will have a better time with that. And then loud, obnoxious people like me, we have the same time, so it's fine. Like I think it's a good thing overall. There are problems, but there's problems with everything, so you can't really judge them on that.
Like we mentioned in our previous episode with dating, it can be abused a bit with sharing, but I definitely think there are a lot of good things that come out of using social media. You get to connect with people, share your experiences with people. Just don't overshare.
Are there people out there oversharing left and right?
I mean, there are some people who share every little moment almost every single day.
Oh, that's what the same thing we're discussing. Yeah, I know what you mean. And it's true. It's like, calm down, Stephanie, we don't need to see your food every time. We don't. We just don't. I don't care what you're eating.
Have some moments for yourself.
Well, live your life. Be, legitimately, all those pictures are going to mean nothing to you when you're about to die. When you're 80 years old. What's going to matter is what those experiences were. And to be honest with you, looking at a picture of a steak you ate, it's not really going to do a whole lot for you. Mm-hmm. I won't. I mean, especially when you take a picture of that same damn steak twice a week. It just won't do anything for you.
You okay, man?
Yeah, sorry.
You got a little twitchy there.
I did. So where are you at with it, man?
I mean, social media is really good. Yeah.
Yeah.
It definitely gives you a chance to connect with people and create conversations, which, like we've said over and over again, every time we post, we want y'all to talk to us. We want you to utilize Facebook and social media.
We want y'all to talk to us.
We just want to keep this conversation going, because
we're going to eventually run out of stuff to talk about.
Are we? Because I keep coming up with ideas and we're only a few weeks in.
Yeah, I don't know. We haven't really rehashed much. The only thing that seems to keep coming back is Star Wars. I don't know.
Because it always comes back to Star Wars.
Apparently everything I do in my life comes back to Star Wars.
Hashtag everything's back to Star Wars.
Yeah, it's mega awkward to some degree, because every time we have a conversation, it's like Star Wars. Knock knock, who's there? Star Wars. If you were a Star Wars character, who would you be?
Probably Luke, because I'm whiny and dramatic.
That makes sense. I'm gonna say Anakin because I'm gonna kill a whole school full of kids. No,
okay, and we are canceled.
No, I mean Anakin because I make bad decisions. I just keep making bad decisions. Ultimately, I'm gonna have a helmet on.
It's you have a lot of potential, but you squander it with stupidity.
Stupid titty? Did you say stupid titty? I can't with you, but yeah, you're right. That was the funniest, I don't know, 45 seconds of an episode we've ever done right there. Like that run of like the kid thing, the bad decision thing, stupid titty. Everything was just perfect, man.
Oh my god. Okay. Okay, well, is there any other final thoughts, or are you good?
I'm good, man. Are we good?
Yeah, I think we're pretty good. So for Aaron, make sure you check out Left on Red.
For Derek, make sure you check out Short Stories by Derek.
And just make sure you go to our website, follow us on Facebook.
Subscribe to the website. That way you know when these things come out.
Yeah, and also wherever you are listening to our podcast, make sure to subscribe there too. So it might not necessarily come out the second it releases, but you should have it within the first few hours.
Right, you'll get it and you'll know when. I use Google Play personally, but I'm also on Spotify now, apparently. But yeah, there's a lot of means to get it, and we're trying to make it as accessible as possible, and everybody can get involved.
Mm-hmm. And also, we want to start shouting out Ricky because
yeah, Derek's brother Ricky, he's a camera wizard. He's not here right now, but he's the one that does all of our editing, and he'll do editing for you too.
Yeah, he technically has a production company, Rick Reels Production.
Rick Reels.
So if you need anything, edited, or you want to film something, he has a camera, he has editing software, he'll do it for you.
And he is a guru. He can edit anything. He can make us look better. Now, it's not hard for me, but for my colleague here. Anyway.
Just for that, he's going to make us look both ugly as hell in this video.
Anyway, we appreciate you guys. Much love, much respect. Follow us, hit us up.
Follow us on all the social medias, aka just Facebook.
Well, hit Derek up. You ain't gotta hit me up. I don't even.
If you need to DM someone, DM him because I probably won't respond.
I will respond to DMs, ladies.
And dudes, I think you should have some dudes.
$20. Anyway, guys, y'all have a good one. Good night.
All right, catch you next week.